Hello everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Essence, and in today's video I would like to talk about gathering spiritual knowledge. Along your spiritual path, there are a few different ways to properly gather spiritual knowledge. One way is teachers. There are people who are proficient in Wicca, in witchcraft, in Celtic magic, and so on. There are many people who practice different things. There's some people who even practice multiple things, like myself. Though I think it's pretty rare to find a teacher who is willing to actually teach these days, like someone who is willing to teach you their ways. There are people who have those kinds of people in their family, and they'll teach their children and grandchildren, and it'll be like a traditional thing, which is good. But the thing is, a lot of people practice their own type of magic. Not everyone practices magic in the same way. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing. So one person's way may not work for another. So you kind of have to just absorb it and then filter it as you wish. Do it as you wish to do. But out of all the people that I've ever met who knew magic, there were no one who was willing to pass on their knowledge, and that's fine. Another way is by media, reading books, watching videos, going to websites. Now, before I started reading books about this stuff, I started looking at websites. And you might be wondering, well, how can you tell whether the information was accurate or not? You could be reading something that someone completely made up. True. You cannot trust all sources of information, whether they be books, videos, internet, websites. But over time, you kind of you start to see synchronicities in things, like things that come up all the time, and that's kind of how you know that that's part of the right thing to do. And also, you just got to look within, and does it feel right to you? It's not all about the magic, it's about the person who wields it, So there are certain books that I have, I have a ton of books on my bookshelf, and I just went to Barnes & Noble today, spent a crap ton of money on more spiritual books, and many of them I have not read yet. I hope to sometime. It's just, right now I'm merely collecting. So I have a ton of reading material on all kinds of spiritual subjects. And there are some books that I bought that I don't think may have any, educational value, but it drew me to it, one of the books that I bought was called The Wisdom of Unicorns. Do I believe that unicorns exist? No. I wish they did. But I think the only thing we're going to get close to a unicorn is a rhino. But to the point, since unicorns aren't real, it's like, how can reading about them really impart wisdom? Well, spirit animals, they can be creatures from myth as well. It doesn't have to be just animals on this planet. And who knows? Unicorns may exist elsewhere in the universe, on other planets. You never know. So they could technically exist, just not here. So I haven't read it yet, but I hope to. And when I do, I definitely want to tell you guys about it. What did I think? What would it say? Now, there are books that I haven't bought, and they're on purpose why I haven't bought them. There are books that I've seen out there that have to do with magic, but it's it says queer magic, gay magic, homosexual magic, and it's just I don't really know how being gay or queer, which I'll never use that word, and for just the FYI, I mean, I'm gay. And I don't use that word, but when I look at a book like that, and I've read the back, and magic or no spiritual path, like, or spiritual way, has anything to do with your sexuality. I mean, yes, there is masculine and feminine energies that can work to your advantage, but the specific fact of being gay does not have anything to do with magic. So really, it is just like, I feel like it's just decoration, you know? Like, decorate your altar with some rainbow flags, or, gay up your magic, which, you know what, if that's what you want to do, and if you want to read that book, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. It's just that I don't see the significance in that kind of material, you know? I don't see any way how that is relevant to the actual subject matter. So that will not be joining my collection of spiritual books. If anyone has read that book, or read books like it, could you put it down, like, in the comments, what you thought of it? What was your experience about it? Because I don't see myself ever, like, actually getting myself to read such books, but I am curious what other people think. But also, there are tons of YouTube videos to watch. I have watched a few spiritual channels before. Unfortunately, a lot of them seem to have disappeared. One of them was, she was a woman. Her channel was called Comedic Independent, and she talked about spirituality relating to the magic of ancient Egypt, and she worshipped the ancient Egyptian gods, and she was really cool. She did a lot of rituals and things, and she actually gave a lot of knowledge about offerings to give each Egyptian god, and it was really cool. And one day I tried to look up her channel, and she was gone. So I don't know what happened to her. Sorry, guys, I'm a little phlegmy. But I don't know what happened to her. I hope she's okay, but she deleted her channel, and I don't know why. And quite a few of the other videos that I did watch, I can't find them now. But I didn't really watch a lot of spiritual YouTube videos. Like, I don't really find myself going to too many spiritual channels because I'm pretty confident in my own spirituality that I don't really feel the need to, like, seek those out. Now, if there's one that, like, piques my interest, I'm going to do it, but I didn't learn what I did through that mainly. It was articles and websites, and then it went to books, and also self-experimentation, self-exploration, and I am pretty self-taught, on this whole thing, and I have my own unique flair when it comes to magic. I do things differently than others. Some stuff I do, other people do, and others, like, I'm eclectic, so I borrow from different spiritual paths and different magical ways, and that also plays a part in the puzzle that is my belief system. So, that leads me to the third way that one can do this is self-exploration and experimentation. Practice makes perfect. Practicing the knowledge that you inherently have, but, may have forgotten during the process of reincarnation. If you find yourself, like, drawn to magic, like, ever since I was a child, I've always been drawn to the spiritual, the paranormal. Every time we would make believe at recess, I wanted to be the wizard. I wanted to be the magician. I wanted to be the witch. I always wanted to be someone who practices magic. Whenever I play a video game, if there is a option to be a sorcerer of some kind, I always pick that because it just feels natural to me, and I think that is the more useful way. Others are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. But I've always been drawn to magic, and that's how I eventually discovered that in my past lives, I have had something to do with the spiritual in some way, or magic in some way. And the bulk of my learning experience has been through practice, through working with my own energies, experimenting with new abilities, and trying to learn things and discover things and trying to find the truth. Sometimes you got to look within to really know yourself and what you can achieve, which personally, what I believe people can achieve, I mean, their imagination is the only thing standing in their way. I mean, the sky is the limit. Or maybe even not the limit. Maybe, go past that, reach for the stars. I believe us humans are capable of a lot. It's just that with our daily lives, we're so busy and we get distracted. And a lot of people do not want to put in the hard work and effort. And, I'm one. I find it very difficult to continue to practice this because, I work today and it's Saturday, so I work Monday through Saturday every week, and, it's exhausting. I'm tired. I don't always want to practice. I have books on my little shelf here that I started reading, and eventually I stopped because I've been so tired at the end of the night. I don't feel like reading. And, it's good to take breaks, but, if we want to advance as spiritual beings, then, practice, experimentation, research, stuff like that. All of those are good. You can learn from many different ways out there. The 3 that I posted, there probably are more, but those are the 3 main ways that I know. But it is incredible amount, like, what magic can do and, like, what we could possibly achieve. The potential is limitless. But I understand that the books that I have, like, for instance, these are based off of people's experiences and personal beliefs. And no one book is going to have the full truth. What I have to find is what I feel in my gut, in my intuition. I have to look deep down and find out which kind of parts of information are good and valid and are useful to my journey, and which ones may be flawed or not accurate at all. That is really up for the interpretation of the person receiving the information. And look to yourself, your intuition, look inside and feel what you feel in your heart, and you'll be able to find a way to distinguish that, In time, you'll find the truth, like what works for you, what doesn't, because sometimes the information, it's not that it's wrong, it's just it doesn't work for you, and that's okay. I had to read 2 different books before I found a technique that I actually found that worked for me with astral projection. Because one book, the guy told it from a parapsychologist point of view, like a scientific point of view. And the one I read was from like a witch's point of view. So that worked better for me. That worked better for me because I see things through that kind of point of view. So like the vision kind of aligned. So you just got to find the information that works for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And if you have any questions about this or about information that you have received that you are not sure if it's accurate or right for you, put it down in the comments and I'd be glad to help you out and give my take on it. Doesn't mean I'm fully right, just, what I'm going to give you my 2 cents, okay? And have a blessed spiritual path, everybody.